Welcome to the latest episode of my poetry podcasts, the place where I share my world of words. Today, I'm giving you a special single piece which I wrote a few years ago when we attended a Christmas Eve gathering with friends, and we were asked to prepare something to share with the other guests. This piece is called I'll Be Home for Christmas. The road was very quiet, and night was coming on. The sky was dark and cloudy now that day was done. And still I kept on walking, a few more miles to go. The sky became more stormy and looked like it might snow. To be here in the country at this late time of year, my thoughts began to wander, but I had naught to fear. The road was very winding and seemed to be quite long. I couldn't quite remember. Had I got it wrong? For very many years now I hadn't passed this way. I felt I should have started out much earlier that day. Memories kept coming back. Christmas is now past. Now here I was this Christmas, now come around so fast. I'd left that village years ago, a very pleasant one, but nothing there was left for me. All I knew was gone. The old folks now had passed away. My friends had all moved on. My family had gone away slowly, one by one. There'd been no need for my return, and so I'd kept away. But here I was returning on a cold and wintry day. I have a lot of memories, one or two are sad. The others make me happy and make me feel quite glad. While travelling down upon the train, these thoughts came back to me. I felt a smile upon my face that everyone could see. Would I find the place the same, or would I see a change? Could I ever feel the same, or would it all seem strange? I never really missed the place, just glad to be away. But now the journey that I made took far too long that day. I felt the boredom mounting, the journey had been long, travelling now for many hours, just going on and on. The last few miles I had to do meant I had to walk. Glad to now be all alone, I didn't want to talk. I passed the hedges stripped of leaves, and past some aged trees. The fields were bare and empty, I felt a gentle breeze. The snow began to gently fall, flakes all glistening bright, falling slowly one by one in the fading light. I heard the church bells ringing out, sounding loud and clear. My step became much easier as I was drawing near. I hadn't heard them ringing now for many years gone by. I stopped to listen carefully, then thought I heard a cry. I shook my head and cleared my mind, looked out across the view. Nothing much had really changed, and yet it all looked new. A memory came into my mind of playing just out there, but that was many years ago, we didn't have a care. We laughed, we cried and ran about, oh what fun we'd had, but now they're all just memories making me feel sad. I thought about the friends I'd known and wondered where they'd gone. The ones I'd played with in these fields, they too had all moved on. I started walking once again to leave these thoughts behind, and though they sounded very real, the sounds were in my mind. The snow was falling heavy now and laying on the ground. My footsteps fell upon the road without a single sound. Muffled by the snow now, everything was white. Though darkness now was creeping in, it seemed to be quite right. I reached the church at 4:30. There was no one around. I went into the churchyard and never made a sound. The church was all in darkness and also very still, and soon I found the grave. That's when I felt a chill. I lay my wreath upon the grave, said a little prayer, turned to look out on the fields. That's when I got a scare. I felt my heart just skip a beat. I'd thought I was alone, but I'm sure I saw a shadow and heard somebody groan. I stood quite still and didn't move, afraid of what was there. The snow was falling heavy now, and yet I didn't care. It covered up the tracks I'd made not so long ago. So was there something in the field, and did I want to know? I took a very careful step, so that I might see what it was that I'd just heard, and what it just might be. I took a careful look around, but didn't see a thing. The field was bare and empty. I felt relief begin. I turned around to walk away. My duty had been done, and thought that next time I came back would be in summer sun. I heard a carol starting. It sounded sweet and dear. I looked across the field so white, The sky was getting clear. I saw the moon now peeping through. The clouds began to part. That sound of carols from the church began to lift my heart. Many thoughts of Christmas past flooded through my mind, and tears that welled up in my eyes almost made me blind. I listened to the singing, the joy that it could bring. The wish that I could join them made me want to sing. The church seemed all in darkness, which seemed a little strange, and so I started walking round, and then I saw a change. A candle started flickering, almost out of view, the stained glass window hiding it behind its red and blue. And then it started moving. I heard the singing cease. I thought the service over, yet my heart felt ill at ease. The voices now approaching, laughing full of glee. I thought I ought to get away, but waited just to see. The voices got much nearer now, but no one was in sight. I looked round the corner now, into the dark of night. The voices started singing now, very loud and clear, some talking to each other and getting very near. I felt a shiver down my spine. My fear was rising high. I wanted just to run away, as nothing caught my eye. I turned and started walking slowly to the gate, wanting now to get away before it was too late. The voices started following. I wished they'd pass me by, but they seemed to be much fainter now and drifting to the sky. Soon I was in silence. I turned and looked behind. Were they ghostly voices, or were they in my mind? Thank you for joining me today for this very special episode of My Lines. I'd like to wish you all a very merry and peaceful Christmas.